I did not sleep. Was waiting for my paycheck to hit my account. However, I have been steadily watching The Boys, and I have several things to say, but I'm going to reserve them until the season, that's an air quote, is done. For three reasons. I also have something to say in this video. The first thing, that a lot of people are complaining that The Boys is being released on a week-to-week basis, but realistically, and this is the first thing I'm going to say, I want you to I want you to conceptually think about this logically. You are a company that is making the business of money easy. You are one of several VOD services, video on demand, that make content that the world watches. You also happen to be Amazon. People who are making hand over fist money on all of the COVID, or as we call it here on my channel, the COF orders. Everything that you do, from gaming with you incentivizing people to buy Amazon Prime to use Twitch Prime Gaming, to AWS and all of your packaging services, making you cash hand over fist for the people who aren't watching your video content. You have all of this propagated material that you would like to release, but the problem that you have is that you live in a time period and you're operating in a time period, whereas a company, you have to think about your bottom line before anything else. And the thing that is most important about your bottom line is that in a time where most people, by demand, are being mandated to stay home, and for those who are essential workers, or in the places where they have now opened back up for business, you have people trying and itching to get back to work. So you have a group of people who have lots of money and no time in which to use and or spend it, and a people with little to no money but a lot of time to watch content, so much so that even if they have money saved up over, they have so much time that they're burning through material because they're running out of shit to do. You are a prospective company that made a project by I would say famous, but let's go ahead and say well-known comic writer in the form of The Boys. You already made season 1. Season 1 was well received, and even though you did things like race wash characters to try and switch them over, people accepted what you gave them. And so, you want to make season 2. However, you have people who have lots of money and no time, and people who have lots of time but little to no money, or a very, very explicit value on that time not being wasted to serve. What do you do to keep yourself longevitous in a time period where it was supposed to be the most high build game ever was buried by the thing like deception game Among Us? The same way that Fall Guys buried The Last of Us 2. What do you do as a company head when you're making that administrative decision? Answer: extend the video release schedule. Instead of dropping the entire thing as a binge, you release it week to week just like it's cable. Realistically, this doesn't change anything because you dropped the first batch in an entire bundle, and then you started releasing the others slowly as a feeder drip. This achieves several things. First thing is that it keeps you in the news because, hey, The Boys is out, but it's only 3 episodes. How many episodes are in the season? 8. Cool. So, 3 episodes plus the remaining 5 coming out over 5 weeks. This not only helps you, the company, it also helps all those people who are using your content to propagate content. Like, how many videos has Jeremy Johns done so far right now just on what has been released? Right? How many reviewers? Right? It doesn't hurt anybody, is the point. Does it annoy the general audience? Oh, I just wanted to binge watch The Boys, but it's not out, so I don't get to have the ability to sit down and consume it mindlessly. Yes. But again, realistically, this does not hurt you because you know your commodity is a hot topic item, and you're going to abuse the power of utilizing people's fear of missing out for much watch TV to get them to watch your programming like it's TV. It's a tale and a tactic as old as time. But even if you think it feels skeevy, people are going to accept it anyways. Because they accepted this for Stranger Things. They accept this in general cable. There's nothing that says they wouldn't accept it here. There's no market research that says that it's invaluable. The amount of people who would be turned off from not being able to binge it all at once is completely outweighed by the money that you're going to gain from it. And if your entire point is we're going to make a really good show, and it doesn't matter because they're going to have something that gives them the reason to say it was worth it, do you really give a shit then? Right? Right. The second thing is that the reason I'm holding back is because I want to do it all at once. I want to cover the whole thing from beginning to end and cover how they've made a show from season 1 to season 2 to evolve and build its world and see where it goes. But most importantly, I don't want to have to worry about spoilers, because if there's a person who's not watching this show right now, I don't know what to tell you. There's no reason why you should not be watching this show, especially if your entire point is, but I don't have Amazon Prime. Piracy is free, darling. Yes. And number 3, for the reasons why I'm not going to make the stupid ass jokes and memes that I have thought of which I have thought of several, especially for Homelander and Stormfront. The reason why I'm not going to do that is because the things that I'd make jokes about not only are big spoilers and big reveals, but it is part of that tactic I just described. The reason why they can afford to be able to release it in a block schedule, where they have a big bundle and then they release every episode afterwards, is because of the factor of the holy shit quotient. The holy shit quotient is the trope of releasing shit in the schedule that has such good production quality that the thing that makes you concerned with the project is every single time you're watching a scene, you're thinking, holy shit, they went there, did that, they did that shit. Realistically, if you look it up right now, I think it's been moved under a trope page for shocking moments. But the idea goes like this, right? You remember how many times people talk about Marvel films and Marvel films having those big group shot moments where it's like, oh my god, it's so great! You know, the big special effects extravaganzas when they aren't using green screen. Those, my friend, would be the moments I'm describing. Except, in this case, you take... What was the equation? You take the number of times that you said, holy shit, or what the fuck, or oh my god, and you divide it by the amount of scenes that is in the project. That is the holy shit quotient. Or, to put more aptly in a sentence, the amount of times that the show made you have an amazed or shocked or completely taken out of it reaction to something that's happening. This is an important detail, especially when you're talking about dramas, because character moments are what give you the levity in order to have the ability to connect to people as characters. Without that, you kind of can't. And that's the most important part there, the connection. One of the things that I hate, but one of the things I also have to appreciate about grimdark fantasies or hard, realistic, gritty stories is that when they are made into dramas, they actually make for really good, heartwarming stories. And the writing of the boys, regardless of what direction they're going to go in, is written well enough that the character moments come pretty much quickly for us to figure out and understand this. This is apparent not just in episodes 1 through 3, but is very apparent through episodes 4, episode 5, and most definitely episode 6. No one is wasted. Everybody gets something to do. No one's boring. Everybody has dynamic flow to their arc and their characteristics. And every single step of the way, it is enjoyable. And you keep watching also just because you want to see what happens next, which causes them to abuse the holy shit quotient. Because why would you not be watching? But also, not only would you not be watching, but what would make you not want them to go there when they've already gone there all those times before? It was in the commercial for season 2. The deep standing atop the beluga whale, and then they ram the boat into the whale. You're not really shocked by that, but you are shocked by all the other shit you should be shocked about. Again, consideration. Take my information. It's freely. It's yours. The only thing that I will say here, before anything else, I want to make sure that I say it here now because I'm not sure if I'm going to remember it later. When we get to the full review, if that's what you want to call it, I don't know what I'm going to do. I feel like doing a talking video. But when we get to the end, I'm going to give it maybe a day, maybe 2, maybe 3. And then I'm going to cover the thing the way that I want. Both seasons thus far. Might do a 2-parter. I don't know. But enough time to be able to figure out where we go from here. What's the trajectory? Is there going to be a season 3 that does whatever, blah, 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 blah? They probably already have the show greenlit, like, all the way out the wazoo. I'm just interested to see what they're going to do next, honestly. Alright, I feel the bed taking me. It's time for me to go. Goodbye. And fuck right.